Croeso and welcome back to Cechlir Chwedlau, the Grove of Stories. Today I wanted to continue my mini-series on tree lore by looking at the yew tree, which I've just planted here on site. It's one of only 3 native coniferous trees we have in the UK, the other 2 being the Scots pine and the juniper tree. It has green pine leaves, they're dark green, and they seem to grow in 2 rows opposite from one another on the stem. Its bark is a sort of a reddish brown, scaly colour. When the tree is young, like here, the bark is very smooth, but as it grows older, the bark and wood tends to twist and knot and curve itself, making it very identifiable when it's mature. Historically, it's best known for its use in the creation of longbows. In The Hobbit, Bard uses a longbow to slay the dragon Smaug during the attack on Lake Town, and no doubt Tolkien here was inspired by the historical use of yew for longbows. The reason it's so good for that is because the centre of the wood in the tree is very hard and rigid, whereas the wood on the outside is very flexible and elastic, where you would attach the string to, so it can spring back into place on the ends where it needs to while staying rigid in the middle, perfect for firing arrows. In terms of mythology and folklore, it's long been associated with the afterlife and death, and also immortality, because it's a very, very old ancient tree. It can grow for thousands of years. It's thought to be immortal in that sense because it can literally regenerate from the inside out. As the inside dies off, new wood grows from outside to take its place. The oldest are 5,000 years old, if not older, which is why it's often found in graveyards and has led to the misconception that yew trees are planted in graveyards, but really it's sort of the other way around. Before the country was Christianized, yew groves were seen as sacred places. They perhaps had a ritualistic element to do with the mourning of the dead and the passing of the soul from one realm to the next, into the next life. So when the Christians came along, rather than cutting down the yew groves and trying to stamp their authority, they much more cleverly interwove their own belief system onto the existing pagan beliefs, which is why churches tended to be built around yew groves, not the other way around. And it was only later that yew trees were then planted in churches and graveyards to continue that tradition, and also perhaps because the pine leaves, as we've said, are quite toxic, and when they fall on the ground they deter animals from grazing and disturbing graveyards. So if you've made it this far into the video, then thank you very much. Your support means a great deal, and if you can, I would really appreciate you liking this video and subscribing if you've enjoyed it so far. If there are any other trees you want me to talk about in this series, please also let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. So I thought I would end this video by coming to my local church, to the local graveyard, to pay my respects to this lovely yew tree that we have growing here, and you can see it now in its mature form. Especially this time of year, Samhain, or Halloween as it's known, what once would have been the end of the Celtic year, where it's believed that the veil between the worlds of the mortal human world here and perhaps the other world, the afterlife, the spirit world, that veil is at its thinnest. And this tree, ordinarily being a portal tree to take spirits of the dead from our world to the next life, well, that what is normally a one-way portal becomes a two-way portal as the worlds come close together and the veil thins, allowing spirits of dead loved ones, or maybe more mischievous spirits, to re-enter our world for a short time. Probably, we think, maybe where the ritual of lighting bonfires this time of year originates from, being a signal to guide dead loved ones back to their home for one night, a night of partying and festivities which you may or may not partake in. So, when it comes to the yew trees, remember, a super sacred, important tree in so many ways. So tread carefully and tread respectfully. Thank you very much for watching.